The U13 Regional Championship Final, and the team's leading scorer sits on the bench, tears soaking her jersey.
Why am I still on the bench? We're losing without me.
For your child to get real playing time, I expect a little extra dedication from the families. Cash directly to me. No one needs to know.
I won't pay a cent beyond the registration fees. Hannah earns her spot on skill.
Then enjoy watching her from the bench for the entire season.
And just like the coach promised, Hannah didn't see a minute of play until the final.
It's because Dad wouldn't pay. But he was right.
That Hayato thinks he can defy me. His daughter will rot on the bench.
The championship slipped away while the team's best player sat forgotten. But weeks earlier, after the bribe demand, Hayato found his daughter in tears on the sideline.
Hannah, listen, you're going to play. You'll earn your spot, I promise.
She had been the team's top scorer, a whirlwind of speed and joy with the ball at her feet.
But Dad, the coach said if you didn't pay, I'd never play.
Skill is the only currency that matters on that field. He doesn't decide your worth.
That night, Hayato started a log. Every word, every threat, documented. He recorded conversations, saved texts. Quietly, he built a record.
And let me be clear, the dedication fee is now mandatory. No pay, no play.
Another demand. How can we keep up? If we don't pay, our kids will be benched too.
The net was tightening, and Hannah remained on the outside, watching her season crumble. At home, Hannah's smile vanished. Her grades slipped, and her room was heavy with silence.
Dad says skill matters, but I'm just invisible now.
Hayato's phone buzzed one evening, a message from a fellow parent. Mr. Hayato, I'm Mrs. Sato. My son is also on the bench. Can we talk? They met at a cafe away from prying eyes.
Thank you for coming. I've been too afraid to speak up, but my boy cries every night. The coach demands cash from us too. And there are others. At least 3 more families.
I've been documenting everything. If we stand together, we might have a chance.
You're not alone. I can introduce you to the others.
For the first time, Hayato saw a crack of light through the coach's wall of control. Over the following week, Hayato met every benched player's parent in secret.
My daughter has been crying after every practice. But if I speak out, he'll ruin her. And this isn't his first team. My neighbor's son quit soccer because of Misaki 2 years ago.
I need your story on paper sworn. Together, we can make it impossible for him to ignore.
One by one, they signed. Bank statements, text screenshots, names, dates.
5 families, all with the same story. He's been running this scheme for years.
The evidence binder swelled with a pattern of intimidation and fraud.
I was terrified to sign this, but seeing all of us together, I'll do it.
But the evidence was only as strong as the courage to deliver it. And no clear path forward existed yet. Hayato had the truth. But the truth needed an opening, and he couldn't see one yet. Then Hayato remembered a letter he'd almost forgotten, the Regional Youth Sports Ethics Committee. You have been appointed as an unpaid volunteer to the Regional Youth Sports Ethics Committee.
I buried this because I wanted Hannah judged on merit. But this is exactly the tool we need.
He had never declared the role, keeping it hidden to avoid any shadow. Now it was his only weapon. He went to the commissioner's office that afternoon, binder left at home.
A volunteer committee member visiting in person, that's unusual. What is this about?
I have concerns about a U13 coach. Financial irregularities. I need to understand how this committee handles such things.
If you have solid evidence, the committee can act. But I would need specifics, names, proof.
If I show my full hand now, Misaki could shred it before I'm ready. Step carefully.
The commissioner nodded, waiting. A path had cracked open, barely wide enough. Hayato knew the commissioner needed undeniable proof. He decided to obtain it directly from the source.
Back again, Hayato? Ready to finally pay what you owe?
His phone, already recording in his pocket, captured every syllable.
Just to confirm, this money is separate from registration fees. Cash only. No receipt?
Finally getting smart. Yes, cash. And if you want her playing again, don't miss a single month.
The pattern was unmistakable. The same threats he had used on every parent who refused to pay. The recording was crisp, an explicit bribe demand with zero ambiguity.
Here are the bank statements you asked for. Every forced payment, every date, all lined up.
Almost there. The championship final is the deadline, and every document points to undeniable corruption.
But in her room, Hana still stared at the ceiling, her soccer ball untouched, wondering if her talent would ever be seen again. Despite the fractured team, they qualified for the regional final. But the real battle wasn't on the field yet.
These parents are so easy. A little fear and the cash keeps flowing. The final will be no different.
Hayato, standing nearby, caught every word. His phone stayed silent, but his mind didn't.
The team bus is leaving for the final, and I'm not even on it.
Let's go, Hannah. I'm driving you myself. You're part of this team, and no one can bench your spirit.
They arrived at the stadium as the crowd roared. The championship banner fluttered under a bright sky.
Hana, bench. You know the drill.
Not even a word of encouragement. He really means to bury me.
In the stands, Hayato gripped the evidence binder, every parent's signature weighing on his conscience. The whistle blew. The final began. Halftime loomed, a deadline for justice. The first half sputtered forward. Every attack stalled. Every pass went astray. The team had no edge. In the 18th minute, a defensive error let a slow roller slip past the keeper. 0-1.
See, without the paying kids, we're nothing. Hayato's stubbornness is his own punishment.
If I were out there, I could score. I know I could. But he won't even look at me.
Every minute she sits there, I'm failing her. But if I act too soon, it all crumbles.
Then, just before halftime, a long-range strike curled into the top corner. 0-2. Hana dropped her head. Her shoulders shook.
Good work, boys. Now hold the lead. Remember who put you here.
This is the moment. Halftime. If I don't move now, it's over.
The whistle blew. Halftime, 0-2. And Hayato's daughter sat on the bench, unseen. Hayato moved through the halftime crowd, finding each parent by the concession stands.
Mrs. Sato, everyone, we need to talk. Now, please follow me. I'm on the Regional Ethics Committee. I've been building a case against Masaki for 2 months.
You have that kind of authority? Why didn't you say something sooner?
Because I needed proof. I have sworn statements, recordings, bank records.
Then why do you need us? If you have all that, just go to the league.
I need your voices. The commissioner is here, but we must present a united front.
I've been scared for weeks, but if we do this, we risk making it worse for our kids.
They're terrified. I can't blame them, but the clock is ticking.
The halftime break was half over, and the parents still hadn't fully committed. Hayato flipped open the thick binder. Tabs detailed witness statements, financial records, and audio files.
These are sworn statements from 5 families. Every threat captured word for word.
He really said this? Pay or your kid never plays. It's all here in black and white. And this recording transcript, he actually demanded cash on tape, with no receipt?
Crystal clear. If the commissioner receives this evidence today, he can suspend Masaki immediately.
Let me hear it. Play the audio. I need to know it's real.
They passed around the transcript and bank statements. Shock hardened into fury as they read.
He's been stealing our children's dreams for years. I want this stopped.
Then sign your name on the bottom line. Together, we have the power to act.
Halftime was slipping away, but their pens were finally uncapped.
But if Masaki has friends in the league, he'll find a way back. My boy could be targeted. I'm done being afraid. Give me the pen.
Mrs. Sato put her name down first, the ink still wet on her statement.
If one mother can stand, so can a father. My family won't be silenced.
One by one, the signatures stacked. Hayato's binder finally had the weight of unity.
Commissioner Tanaka, we have the signed statements. The evidence is complete. Please come now.
I'm already here. Give me 2 minutes.
In the parking lot, Commissioner Tanaka quickened his pace, the stadium tunnel ahead.
He's on his way. When he walks onto that field, it ends for Masaki.
Halftime had 1 minute left, and for the first time, Hayato believed it was enough. As the teams filtered back to the sideline, Masaki noticed Hayato speaking with other parents far across the stand.
They're probably sharing sob stories. Pathetic. Same plan. Hold the lead. No one gets through our defense. This trophy is ours. See this, number 9? This is what happens when your father doesn't support the team.
He just said that to my face, with everyone listening.
Hana's eyes filled, but she refused to let them fall. Not here. Not in front of him. Commissioner, I'm here. Where do I go? The text buzzed in Hayato's hand. The stadium tunnel was only meters from the field.
I need to lead him onto the pitch before the second half whistle.
The 1-minute halftime warning sounded. Players began lining up. Time was almost gone. The referee's whistle pierced the stadium. The second half had begun, and Hana hadn't moved from the bench.
It's like I'm not even here. They're playing without me, and no one cares.
Hayato saw the ball move and knew his window had shut. He broke into a run toward the tunnel.
No more waiting. I'm bringing the commissioner in now.
On the sideline, Masaki caught sight of Hayato striding with purpose. His smirk faltered.
What is that man doing? Why is he coming toward the field?
Commissioner Tanaka stood near the tunnel, briefcase ready. Hayato waved him forward.
Lead the way. It's time.
On the pitch, the players chased the ball unaware. Hana's head stayed down. The crowd roared as the game resumed, blind to the reckoning stepping onto the sideline. Hayato handed the bulging binder to Commissioner Tanaka as they crossed the sideline chalk. The assistant referee sprinted over, arms waving, but froze when the commissioner flashed his credentials.
Regional Ethics Committee. Do not interfere.
Masaki was yelling at a midfielder when he saw the two men striding toward his technical area. His whistle slid from his lips.
Hayato? And a league official? This cannot be happening.
The stadium noise dropped. Cheers died into a creeping hush as hundreds sensed the shift.
Dad? Why is Dad on the field with a man in a suit?
Masaki took a reflexive step backward, his clipboard clattering to the grass. The commissioner stopped directly in front of the coach, the evidence binder held tight against his chest. The commissioner raised his hand. The stadium held its breath.
Coach Masaki, you are suspended pending investigation for soliciting illegal payments from parents.
This is slander. There's no proof he's just a bitter father.
I have sworn statements from 11 families, audio recordings, and bank transfers. The evidence is overwhelming.
11 families. How did he get so many? This is impossible.
You are relieved of your duties. Step away from the technical area immediately. Koji, you are now the head coach. Finish this match.
Two officials took Masaki by the arms. He stumbled, mouth still moving, but no one listened. The crowd's silence broke. First murmurs, then a wave of applause swept the stands, parents standing, fists raised.
They're cheering for Dad. For us. Does this mean I might play?
The game resumed, score still 0-2, but the field felt different now, and Hana's eyes were fixed on her father.
Hana, number 9, you're in.
He called my number. I'm actually going in.
You've worked harder than anyone. Show them why you're the top scorer.
Hana tore off her warm-up jacket. The number 9 on her back caught the sun as she sprinted onto the grass. Her teammates, who had been dragging their feet, straightened. A current of energy passed through them. The opposing defenders exchanged smirks. A tiny girl with a yellow ribbon. What threat could she be?
Hana, play your game. Press high, find spaces. I trust you.
2 goals down, but I've waited months. Not a second longer.
The scoreboard still glared 0-2, but the air had shifted. The impossible now felt merely improbable.
She's on the pitch. Now it's all in her hands.
The ball squirted free in midfield. A teammate poked it forward, and Hana was already sprinting into the channel.
This is my touch. No one's taking it.
She cut inside, leaving one defender lunging, then slipped past a second with a drop of the shoulder. Her right foot struck the ball clean and true. It ripped into the top corner, unstoppable. The scoreboard flickered, 1-2.
Not enough. Grab the ball.
The stadium erupted, but Hana was already running back to the center circle, ball tucked under her arm. In the stands, Hayato's hands trembled. He had waited months for that sound.
That's it. Keep pressing. They're scared of you now.
The opposing coach looked at his assistant, a new worry creasing his brow. The game had changed. Hana orchestrated the attack, her voice cutting through the noise. She demanded the ball and her teammates responded.
Good press. Now switch it wide. We've got them on their heels.
A driven cross found a striker, but the header bounced off the crossbar. Hana didn't flinch.
We're all over them. Just need to finish. Keep pushing, everyone.
10 minutes passed under relentless pressure. A corner kick. Hana drifted to the near post, unnoticed. The ball curled in, and she thumped it with her forehead. The net rippled. 2-2. She slid on her knees, arms wide, the stadium detonating around her. In the stands, Hayato was on his feet, voice raw, fists pumping the air.
That's my girl. 2 goals in a final after being benched for months. They can do this.
Only 10 minutes remained. The final was there for the taking. 5 minutes to go. Both teams were dragging, lungs burning, but Hana never stopped moving.
I can't let up now. We're so close. Just keep running.
She hurled herself into a 50-50 challenge. Bodies crashed, and she went down hard. She pushed up quickly, but her left ankle buckled. She limped, waved off the coach's sub-signal.
She's hurt. But she'd never forgive me for pulling her now. Please, be okay.
In the stands, Mrs. Sato and the other parents clutched each other's hands, silently willing her to stay upright. Coach Koji sent on a midfielder with fresh legs, but kept Hana on. Her fire was too bright to douse. The stadium held its breath each time she touched the ball, the limp obvious but her will undeniable. 3 minutes remained. The ball was still in play, and everything hung in the balance. With only desperate minutes remaining, a hopeful ball sailed into the path of number 9.
This is the moment I dreamed about while rotting on that bench.
She trapped it clean, pushed it forward, and burned past the last defender into the box. The keeper rushed out, but Hana's touch was featherlight. A chip, not a blast. The ball arced, spinning with backspin, floating over the flailing goalkeeper. Time seemed to freeze as it dropped, kissing the bottom of the crossbar and settling in the goal. 3-2. The scoreboard tried to catch up, but the stadium already knew.
A hat trick. In a final, after everything he did to bury me.
She sank to her knees, chest heaving as yellow jerseys buried her in a pile of joy. The stadium was a thunderstorm. 2 minutes stood between Hana and a legend. The final whistle blew, swallowed by the roar as teammates buried Hana under a pile of yellow jerseys. They lifted her onto their shoulders, fists raised, tears finally breaking free after a season of silence.
That's my player. A hat-trick hero after being benched all season.
In the stands, Hayato's legs gave out. 2 months of held breath finally released as tears streamed down his face.
We signed those papers for this moment. Our children will never be silenced again.
The referee had to wave his arms to get Hana's attention, still perched high above the chaos, trophy stand waiting.
She was benched, humiliated. And now she's the hero. That's my daughter.
Nearby, Mrs. Sato and the other families held each other, laughter and sobs mixing under the sun. The trophy ceremony would begin soon, but this moment belonged to a girl who never stopped believing. The trophy was brought to the center circle, gold under the sun, as the team lined up. Hana, still limping, took the prize in her hands and raised it above her head, a champion's roar escaping her lips.
This is for you, Dad. I never stopped believing you'd get me back on this field.
In the stands, Hayato's tears flowed freely, his wave small but fierce. The announcer's voice cut through the cheers, and the league will conduct a full investigation into the former coach's conduct. A rumble of boos followed, punctuated by defiant cheers from the parents who had signed. On the sideline, Commissioner Tanaka nodded gravely, his eyes meeting Hayato's.
It's not over yet. But today, we won everything that mattered.
Hana clutched the trophy to her chest, a smile cutting through the dirt and tears. After a season of silence, a father's quiet stand had become a stadium's roar. Hayato made his way down to the pitch, weaving through celebrating players, his heart still thumping.
Dad, you did it! You got them to listen! I knew you would!
I wanted to protect you from all of it, but you protected me right back.
Mr. Hayato, we can never thank you enough. You gave us the courage to fight back. My son was ready to quit. Because of you, he's staying. We'll never stay silent again.
You all signed. You all stood. This victory belongs to every family who refused to pay.
Hana's arms tightened around her father's waist. For the first time in months, he felt the weight begin to lift. The stadium began to empty. But on that field, under the fading sun, a small group of families stood unbroken. For Hayato, the quiet after the roar was the loudest reward of all. They walked hand in hand toward the parking lot, the trophy heavy in Hana's bag, the stadium a silhouette behind them.
Hana, I am so proud of you. But I need to say something. All season, I wondered if I'd done the right thing. Watching you on that bench nearly broke me.
He stopped walking, the guilt settling in his chest like a stone.
I kept thinking, if I had just paid, none of this suffering would have happened. Forgive me.
No, Dad. You don't need forgiveness. You gave me something stronger. I'm proud you didn't pay. You showed me what's right, even when it hurt.
Her words hit him like a clean strike, knocking the air from his lungs.
She grew up right in front of me, and she's stronger than I ever was at her age.
They resumed walking, the sunset painting the sky in golds and purples, the trophy a quiet symbol of what they'd both won. 1 month after the championship, Commissioner Tanaka faced a packed press room, cameras recording every word.
Coach Misaki has been permanently banned from coaching any youth sport in this prefecture, effective immediately. He faces fraud charges, with a maximum penalty of 3 years in prison.
The evidence Hayato compiled, sworn statements, audio recordings, bank records, was instrumental in the ruling. In the hearing, Misaki sat with his head bowed, the smirk finally erased, his silence damning. The morning newspaper headline read, "Youth Coach Banned for Bribery Scandal."
Without the sworn statements of those families, we could not have secured this outcome. They were the true heroes.
The case was closed. A corrupt coach had been removed from the game, and a girl's hat trick would be remembered long after the headlines faded. For Hayato and every parent who refused to pay, justice had arrived, and it tasted sweet. Days after the verdict, Hayato sat on a park bench, watching Hana dribble through imaginary defenders.
Dad, I got the letter! The regional camp wants me!
The regional camp? That's incredible, Hana. You earned it, every bit.
The invitation had arrived that morning, a direct result of her hat-trick performance in the final.
I'm going to train with the best players in the prefecture. I'm so excited!
She sprinted back to her imaginary match, carving through the grass without a trace of the limp that had defined her final minutes.
No more secrets. No more evidence binders. I'm just a proud dad on a bench.
He watched her launch another imaginary winning goal, arms raised in triumphant celebration. The late afternoon sun draped them in gold, the park empty except for the two of them and a ball. Not all victories end with a trophy. Some end with a quiet moment earned through courage and love. A few days after the park afternoon, an official envelope arrived at Hayato's door, the Regional Sports Council's seal embossed on the back. He slid it open at his desk, recognizing Commissioner Tanaka's steady signature beneath the official letterhead. Dear Mr. Hayato, on behalf of the Regional Youth Sports Council, I extend our deepest gratitude for your integrity and service on the Ethics Committee. Thanks to the evidence you compiled and the courage of the families who came forward, we have opened investigations into several other coaches across the prefecture. Your quiet stand has ignited a systemic cleanup. You have my personal assurance that this council will continue to root out corruption.
Other coaches, I never imagined my small act would ripple this far.
The weight of months pressed into a single sheet of gratitude, and he held it lightly, a paper earned by unwavering principle. He folded the letter along its creases and tucked it into a drawer. No framing, no proclamation, just a quiet smile. Outside, the sun was setting, and for the first time in months, the only weight he carried was pride. That evening, Hana burst through the front door, a rolled newspaper flapping in her hand.
Dad, look! The paper wrote about the final and the investigation.
Hayato set down his tea, watching her find the article, her finger tracing the headline. Hana scores hat trick, leads team to victory after coach suspended.
All those weeks of tears and a smirking coach. Now her name is in the news for the right reasons.
I'm going to frame it, right next to the trophy.
She slid the newspaper into a simple black frame and hung it on the wall, stepping back to admire her handiwork.
There. Now every time I see it, I'll remember that standing up was worth it.
You earned every word.
He put his arm around her shoulder, and they stood together, looking at the framed article, their shared history, rewritten in ink. At the quarterly Ethics Committee session, Commissioner Tanaka gestured for Hayato to stand.
Mr. Hayato, your actions have embodied this committee's purpose. Please, share your experience.
Hayato rose, hands trembling slightly. He was more familiar with evidence binders than speaking publicly.
I'm not an official. I'm just a father who watched his daughter cry on a bench because of a corrupt man. Protecting youth sports isn't about rules. It's about the kids who deserve to play without paying bribes.
He paused, glancing at his phone screen, a photo of Hana beaming with the trophy.
Your integrity has set a standard this council will not forget.
Silence. Then the commissioner began to clap. The room followed, rising to their feet. Hayato sat down, the applause a quieter echo of the stadium's roar. His quiet fight had become their wake-up call. Weeks later, Hana returned from the regional camp, clutching a shiny award with MVP engraved on a small plaque.
Dad, I was named Camp MVP. They said I have a real shot at the prefectural team.
Camp MVP? That's incredible. You keep proving what I always knew.
He drove her straight to the ice cream shop they'd skipped all season, their post-game tradition. They sat at a rickety outdoor table, 2 cones sweating in the afternoon sun.
Remember when Misaki said I'd never play again? Now I'm eating mint chip with the Camp MVP.
She can even joke about it now. No trace of bitterness. His name sounds like a sneeze anyway. Ma-es-aki.
Dad, stop! That's so bad!
They laughed until their cones melted in their hands. The sweetness washed away a season's worth of bitterness. That evening, Hana curled up on the couch, her tablet streaming the championship final highlights on repeat. She paused on her first goal, the ball rocketing into the top corner, and a tiny, private smile tugged at her lips, a world away from her tears on the sideline. Hayato came in from the kitchen and sank onto the cushion beside her without a word.
Thanks for not giving up on me. Ever.
Never.
The video rolled on, her header equalizer, the day's defenders, and that soft chip sailing over the frozen keeper's hands. Outside the window, the last sunlight drained from orange to violet. They watched the rest in silence, shoulders touching, hearts full, as the final whistle blew on the screen. When the tablet dimmed, Hana didn't move. She just leaned closer, the fading sunset their only light. When the new season started, the team had a different coach, one whose only demand was hard work. Hana was the undisputed starter and captain, the armband snug on her sleeve.
No more waiting. Every game is mine to lead.
In the season opener, she received a pass at the edge of the box and fired it low into the corner. Then a header from across, then a clever chip over the keeper.
Another hat trick. This feels like a dream.
In the stands, Hayato wore the same navy windbreaker, but his hands held only a small camera.
No binder, no secrets. Just a proud dad with a camera.
He captured her third goal, the chip sailing over the flailing keeper, and the screen froze on her triumphant smile. As Hana ran toward the corner flag, she pointed toward her father, and he lowered the camera to let her see his beaming face. Months later, a cardboard box sat on their doorstep with no return address, only a familiar team logo stamped on the side. Inside, nestled in packing paper, was a soccer ball covered in handwritten signatures in every color of ink.
Dad, it's signed by the whole team. Everyone wrote something.
A small note was taped to the ball. To Hana, our captain and hero. This season was for you. Hana pressed the ball to her chest, her throat tight, the memory of being benched now buried beneath this gift. Hayato pulled out his phone and snapped a photo, not for evidence this time, but to keep this moment forever. Later, they found a shelf where the ball could sit beside the championship trophy, two very different symbols now side by side.
They didn't forget me, Dad. Even after the season ended, they remembered.
The ball and the trophy now shared a permanent spot in their home, a quiet testament to a fight won with patience and love. On a quiet afternoon, they returned to the stadium where everything had changed. The stands were empty, the field silent. Hana dropped an invisible ball at her feet and darted toward the penalty box, muscle memory guiding her.
The witness statements you helped collect. They're making mandatory ethics training for every youth coach in the prefecture. No coach can demand cash again without facing the same fate as Masaki.
Mandatory ethics training because we stood up. That's bigger than any trophy. I was just happy to score, Dad. But knowing other kids won't go through what I did, that's the real win.
They reached the empty bench where she had once cried, and Hana sat down without hesitation.
You've come full circle. Same bench, different girl.
I don't need this bench anymore, but I'm glad we came back.
They sat together in the quiet stadium, the sunset spilling across the empty seats, and nothing needed to be said. On the living room wall, a single framed photograph replaced the tense silence that once filled the house. The picture was from the championship, Hayato and Hana on the field, the golden trophy between them, both grinning ear to ear. Draped across a nearby chair hung the navy windbreaker, empty now but heavy with the story it carried. Beside the trophy, the signed soccer ball rested on a shelf, every signature a quiet echo of a season reclaimed. The camera pulled back, past the window where the neighborhood lay quiet under a fading afternoon sky. A gentle breeze stirred the curtain, and in that stillness, the evidence of a long fight was no longer needed. Only the photo remained, a father and daughter, triumphant, frozen in the exact moment they won it all. Some victories are scored on a field, others are won by never giving in. And in that small house, with a windbreaker and a framed photo for witnesses, peace had finally come home.